Another night, another news story about President Trump and the Russians.
Yeah, the White House is now confirming that Mr. Trump had a second meeting with Vladimir Putin during that recent summit in Europe. And that meeting is raising a whole bunch of new questions tonight. KTEL 9's Elsa Ramon has the details of this latest presidential controversy. Elsa?
Well, Lena and Jeff, it never gets easier, it seems, for the president. 11 days after Mr. Trump and Mr. Putin had their first face-to-face meeting in Germany, we are now learning they met a second time that day. But the Kremlin and the White House never made that public until today, when CNN broke a story about it. This from a White House under investigation by a special prosecutor who wants to know about the Trump campaign's ties to Russia.
Reports tonight Donald Trump had a second meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin at the G20 summit in Germany earlier this month. It was never disclosed until tonight. Witnesses say it lasted an hour and happened halfway through a formal dinner with the heads of 20 nations and their spouses. No staff or cabinet members were present. Mr. Trump didn't even have a translator at his side, relying only on Putin's.
The official explanation is each head of government was allowed only one translator, and Trump had a Japanese translator, but not a Russian one. I kind of suspect they could have solved that problem pretty easily.
These pictures from that dinner show Putin was seated next to First Lady Melania Trump at the beginning of the dinner. Witnesses told the New York Times halfway through the dinner, Trump got up, walked over to Putin, and sat down. Other world leaders noticed and told one witness who spoke to the Times they were confused and surprised Trump and Putin talked so long. But there are no photos or video or transcripts of this discussion.
The bigger problem is there was no third party from the American side to make a record. In order to understand what happened at this meeting, we have to rely on the memories of Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin.
But tonight, the White House was quick to dismiss the New York Times report that the meeting was anything but after-dinner casual conversation, saying in a statement, there was no second meeting between President Trump and President Putin, just a brief conversation at the end of a dinner. The insinuation that the White House has tried to hide a second meeting is false, malicious, and absurd. President Trump also lashed out on Twitter. The fake news is becoming more and more dishonest. Even a dinner arranged for top 20 leaders in Germany is made to look sinister. This latest controversy comes on the same day the LA Times broke the story that a Huntington Beach man, Ike Cavalazzi, who has a home in Huntington Beach, was the 8th person at a meeting in June of 2016 with Donald Trump Jr., then campaign chair Paul Manafort, and the president's son-in-law Jared Kushner, where a Russian promised to give them dirt on Hillary Clinton. This video from CNN shows Cavalazzi with Donald Trump in Las Vegas in 2013. According to Cavalazzi's LinkedIn profile, he works for Russian developers in the United States. Some have ties all the way to Putin. The Washington Post reports Cavalazzi was part of a Russian money laundering investigation in 2000 after he opened more than 200 bank accounts for Russian brokers.
Going back to the president's dinner conversation, another reason why it can be problematic is Vladimir Putin is a former KGB agent who is very skilled at gleaning important information from what seems to be small talk made during innocent dinner conversation. Jeff and Lena, back to you.